Hey, well, guys, it's John from PvP. How you doing? You keep well? It's been a week since I last saw you. It's just a bit sad, but it's okay because I've got more of those delicious and nutritious info bites for you. That's right. We won't be doing a big long boy this week, thankfully, if people weren't into the longer form content when we were covering the Epic versus Apple case. It's okay, we got two smaller news stories to talk about this week, which is a little bit more info-y and a little bit more bitey, if you know what I mean. But if you have missed last week's Infobyte, of course you can go check it out right here and get caught up in some of the lunacy that happened with the eBay versus Apple case, because trust me, I cover it at a very, very overview, very macro level, but there is a lot of weird bullshit that has came off the back of that case, and obviously it's something that we're going to be keeping a close eye on as we go forward into the case itself. But we got a break from that this week, so let's get into the Infobyte. Well, first article for the week, guys, is kind of like a follow-up on some of the information you maybe already aware of when it comes to Ubisoft. So for anyone who was not aware, back last year, there was a frightening article reported by Le Telegram that Ubisoft had a massively big toxic work environment issue. It was one of those ones where it led to, well, we thought it led to a lot of sweeping changes in the company, including key executives stepping down from their positions and leaving the company. But obviously, because I'm reporting this right now, some things haven't changed at all, apparently. So, the Telegram via Game Industry Biz has reported that there have been minimal changes that happened in the company since the allegations were made, and in spite of Yves Guillemot making a commitment to make major changes across the culture of the business itself. Which, when I hear this, I'm not too surprised that this is the case, but sure, we'll go into the article a little bit more. I don't want to give too much of my opinion yet. We'll try and get into some more of the facts. A recent report came to light that while Cecil Cornet definitely left the company and was one of the executives in question that was a key factor in the harassment and abuse in the Ubisoft workplace, other executives just changed positions, apparently. So they didn't leave the company at all. They were just put into a different role to try and stem or take away some of the heat that the company was facing off the back of these allegations, which is, again, I'm trying not to give too much of my opinion yet, kind of worrying, but sure. On top of that, there, even with the change of the head of Ubisoft Montreal's infrastructure and management structure, there has still been a wave of harassment cases being reported right up to December of 2020, way after this whole thing was meant to have been addressed properly, and these subsequent cases have been sidelined, which is even more concerning that there's been a major allegations being made against the company in regards to the harassment and the handling of employees, and they're still trying to sweep these cases under the carpet. I don't know what they're thinking when it comes to this here. Other initiatives such as that have been pushed by the staff to try and involve the hiring of more female or more women into the business to try and give a better balance to the culture as well, has been quite, the most part, ignored and not even really been addressed by management, which again, incredibly concerning considering everything that went on at the... A spokesman from Ubisoft has made claims that the company has made massive strides and massive changes to the internal processes at Ubisoft to ensure that the perceived toxic culture is being corrected, adjusted, and that the employees have a more safe and sensible and overall better working environment. However, if you ask me, and this is where I am definitely going to give my opinion, it speaks volumes about that when your spokesperson or rep is making these claims about major changes and major sweeping policy policies that are now meant to take care of this toxicity, and we still have people reporting that their cases are being sidelined, that their harassment is ongoing, and that key members and key figures involved in said harassment culture are still at the damn company. Now, if you ask me, that's grade A bull from that rep, but sure, are we surprised? For myself personally, not. It's a situation where clearly they've decided to try and do the very perceived cultural thing that some bigger businesses do, and that's sweep it under the carpet, reshuffle some of the staff into your positions, so that way they can ignore and avoid backlash and bigger stories coming out. However, thanks to the Telegram, that is not the case. They're holding them very much accountable and have been zeroing in on them and looking for everything with a fine-tooth comb, which is great. However, I would love to see some actual action taken by Ubisoft to correct the situation, as no employee should ever feel unsafe or harassed in their work environment. Of course, that's just my opinion. I'm going to throw it over to you guys. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Are you surprised at all about the lack of changes perceived by the employees at Ubisoft? Or is this just, pretty much by the ball of what we expect in sort of, well, big corporate businesses these days? Let us know down below, player. And time for our second article, which is a little bit more lighter on things. eBay is going to be banning the sale of adult products by the looks of things come July 15th. This is specifically going to affect games in the sense that they're going to be banning AO games. AO games being the ESRB rating for games that involve highly sexualized content or ultra-violent content by the ratings board. This is not much a surprise for myself, as marketplaces like Walmart have banned these games in the past, especially for these reasons. However, this is not just only affecting the video game industry when it comes to the marketplace on eBay. It seems to also be affecting things such as magazines, comics, anime, manga, books, and any other materials such as films that would involve sexually oriented content. However, what kind of confuses me about this is that they have released a statement stating that the reason that they are doing this here is to ensure that people who wish to see legal adult content are able to purchase said items on the site without exposing said articles and items to people who don't wish to see those items and that are not legally available for sale. I'll get into that a little bit in a second, but it's an interesting statement to make, considering what they do versus what they say, or seem to be almost at odds with one another. But sure, I have to point out that these changes are only going to be made specifically to the US store currently. However, these changes could come into the other eBay marketplaces as it goes around. It's been quite noted that Australia's eBay marketplace is not going to be affected, as their actual ratings board differs from much of the rest of the world. Their 18 or adult only content usually has other parameters in place. For video games, it's very specific. Stuff like excessive drug use or the glorification of drug use, or just drug use in general, can actually make a game be banned in Australia. So I think they are, with eBay, taking a little bit of a change of direction, or maybe an updated steer, or let's just say a bespoke steer when it comes to these items, when it comes to the Australian eBay version of the marketplace. Fear not, though, if you are one who likes to purchase your games on eBay. Games such as the likes of Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Mortal Kombat, or any other games of hyper violent natures to them, or violent natures in general, will be banned, as they are actually rated as 17 plus under the ESRB, and it seems to be only after the AO rated content. Examples of AO rated content, of course, is such things like Manhunt, as well as Leisure Suit Larry, as well as some other probably less than ideal games. I mean, Hatred's one of those games as well, but I think that game's a really cringy edgelord game, but sure, that's just me. However, again, it does come into questions like, why are they banning all these other items, especially if these items are actually of legal nature? For example, there's a lot of legal pornography and art that has sexualized natures to them that are going to be now banned from the platform, which is so strange. It's going to basically probably hinder the sales for quite a lot of artists as well as that are filmmakers and whatnot that are producing completely legal content but are suddenly going to find their items no longer prohibited, no longer allowed, on the platform, which is kind of strange. Obviously, this will have wider sweeping effects if this steer comes into other markets, such as the EMEA and the APAC markets when it comes to eBay. But let us know what you think in the comments down below, guys. Do you get your games off eBay, and do you get any comics or mangas off eBay? And are you worried that some of the stuff that maybe you purchase is going to be suddenly restricted based on these guidelines, even if these guidelines seem to be at odds with their own statement? Let us know in the comments down below. Well, guys, that was this week's Infobyte here on the channel. Obviously, if there's any articles we have missed this week, I would encourage you to drop a comment down below. Drop the hottest of comments down below. But especially if there's an article you think we missed that we should have covered, let us know. We'll cover it next week, no doubt. But when it comes to news, obviously, that's this week for us done. The Infobytes, man, like, news is grim. News is real grim. It seems like every week I read something and I'm just like, wow, what is happening to our wonderful industry? Sure, it is what it is. But of course, if you've enjoyed this video, guys, let us know. You know how you do that, though? You got to hit that like button. So I want you to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. That way you also don't miss out on these Infobytes, as well as other amazing videos that released on the channel every week as they go up. Keep yourself well up to date with that stuff. Top of that there, you probably noticed that we do have a Twitch channel. Yeah, that's right. If you go to twitch.tv/PVG, the link is below the player as well. You can check out the Player versus Player talk show. This here is only a satellite of what we do. The main mothership is the Player versus Player talk show, and we do that every Friday night over on the Twitch channel at 8 o'clock UK time, where we talk about all sorts of nonsense, video game curiosities, opinion pieces, as well as some interesting and fun game show stuff with the chat. So why don't you go over and check that out as well. But anyway, I'm gonna have to love yous, gonna have to leave yous. But if I'm really lucky, well, on the next fight, guys. Have a good one, guys. Peace.